Hey, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Supreme Latios 14, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the new Pokemon Unite patch notes that have been leaked, that's been pretty much released. So now we pretty much know everything that's going to get nerfed and buffed. There likely might be still more that may not be on this list and all that good stuff. So if you guys do enjoy these type of videos, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't, and of course hit the bell. Really do appreciate you guys, and also and of course just so you guys know, just to state this out. These are going to be my thoughts on it, and we're going to go ahead and be talking about this in this video. So, yeah. And of course, you guys are also free to let me know in the comments below what do you guys think about these buffs and nerfs. So that's going to be coming. So I got these patch note pitches here. I actually got these in my server, thanks to my boy Wormpo. Shout out to Wormpo, of course. But credit goes to what credit is due for these goes to them. So let's go ahead and pull up the first one. There's actually two of these we're going to be going over. So here we go. We got the first one here, and we see here we actually got some nerfs and buffs to talk about here that I'm actually looking forward to. I'm actually really excited about this, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are as well. So first off, let's talk about Urshifu, the single strike Urshifu, which is going to be right here on the left here. Its Unite move got a damage reduction, has been reduced by 25%. Basically, how it looks like is like these numbers pretty much determine the damage that it did before. So basically, think of these numbers as the amount of damage that they were doing, and then the where it says before, that's the amount of damage it was doing, and then now. So basically, they nerfed Urshifu's Unite quite a bit. So before it was doing it says 440% damage, and then now it's doing 330% damage. So that's a pretty big nerf, I think, on Urshifu's Unite. I mean, it makes sense because Urshifu was just doing so much damage. It was absolutely ridiculous. It was just crazy, honestly. Like this Pokemon was able to get multiple KOs at once with its Unite. It was so dumb that this is a nerf that I feel like just needed to happen. Honestly, it was just so necessary. Like it's not even funny. This nerf was absolutely necessary to Urshifu. Like it was just super dominant that they had to nerf this thing. It really had to be nerfed, honestly. So with that being said, now they also nerfed its Wicked Blow attack, which damage reduction from 30% to 20%. And then the WB, I believe that is for when you get the upgrade. It's now from 60% to 40%. So yeah, they really crippled this Pokemon quite a bit. This Pokemon was doing a lot of damage, honestly. Let's be honest here. It definitely needed these nerfs. So will this bring Urshifu down? Will this prevent? Well, not really prevent, but people will definitely likely see less of the Urshifu now, honestly. So I was kind of surprised at first when I heard Urshifu single strike was actually doing a lot of work, honestly, because I tried using it, I just couldn't get it to work. But likely it was because I wasn't using it correctly. But I was kind of surprised to hear how Urshifu, the single strike Urshifu, was doing so much work. It was insane. I've seen videos and I understand now why it was so strong and why it was so needed to be nerfed, honestly. So that was really good that they nerfed that. So that's really good. So that's gonna be coming up pretty soon. Now Scyther and Scizor also got some nerfs here. So Scyther, I definitely can understand because Scyther was definitely a Pokemon that was just doing way too much damage. So they nerfed Scyther's Unite moves, so now it has 20% less damage, 30% less range. I believe this also applies to Scizor. I believe it applies to Scizor. I could be wrong. Someone correct me in the comments below, but I believe this also applies to Scizor as well. So now Unite does 20% less damage and 30% less range. So lesser range, lesser damage. So you have to be careful on that. And then Swords Dance also got nerfed, and this is definitely something that is kind of, it's not that big from the looks of things. It was reduced from 15% to 12%. So bit lesser of the buff, bit lesser damage now with this. So with Swords Dance, it will actually buff your damage you would do with your other move or your basics in general. And now also has a cooldown increase from 6 seconds to 7 seconds. So, yeah, Scyther honestly was way too strong in my opinion. This Pokemon was on crack. I felt like this Pokemon was doing way more than it was supposed to, honestly. So with this nerf, I think Scyther will be a bit more fair. I mean, I don't think they touched its dual wing beat move. I don't think that's been touched. So I'm pretty sure that's still going to be doing quite a bit of damage. So that's still going to be a thing, but it's not going to be as devastating. I don't think. But I feel like this might not even be enough. But I could be wrong. I don't really play Scyther that much. I was thinking about trying out Scyther, but now I might not need to try out Scyther. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Next up, we're going to talk about is Surging Strike Urshifu, the other Urshifu. It actually got a buff to its Surging Strike move. Cooldown has been reduced from 13 seconds to 11 seconds. So it looks like really want players to really play the other Urshifu over the single strike Urshifu. So will that really be enough though? I'm not really sure because I really don't play the Surging Strike Urshifu build either myself. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. And this one I think is really exciting for me. I think this one I'm really most excited for out of these buffs so far. Clefable is getting some more love here. So Clefable's getting a buff on his gravity. So the stun that gravity offers when you utilize it actually has been increased to one segment. I believe this means that the stun effect has been increased. So now it's actually going to be doing a bit more. The stun is going to take more. It's going to actually last a bit longer than what it was doing before. So that's pretty cool, in my opinion. I really thought Clefable with this gravity was going to be meta defying, honestly, and it kind of was because it was still a move that I think was still really good because of it being able to stop dashes. Like for example, Scyther's dual wing beat, Urshifu's wake up blow. I believe that's considered a dash. It also stops Crustl's X's, which I learned at the hard when I was playing Crustle. I was playing Crustle in the game. We went up against a Clefable, and I was trying to X's her, and Clefable was stopping me dead in my tracks. So gravity stops a lot of things, honestly. With this being a buff, I think Clefable will likely see a bit more play potentially. I could be wrong. But I'm excited for this because, I do tend to play supporters. So I think this buff to Clefable is definitely something that it needs. Now, I really do hope they don't make this an absolute monster. I don't think it's that big of numbers, but, you never know. But it could definitely come down to how the meta set shakes up too for the most part. But I could be wrong. But gravity overall was really great against those Pokemon that would try to dash. That basically stops dashes. In fact, let me go ahead and let me pull up the game real quick so we can kind of talk a little bit about gravities in its finest here. So let's go ahead real quick. Let's go ahead and let's pull up the game real quick. And I'm gonna go ahead and read gravity for you guys so you guys can kind of get an idea. So basically, gravity is a move that creates a gravity zone centered on itself that persists for a set amount of time. Inside the gravity zone, the user's basic attacks change and deal increased damage, and then opposing Pokemon in the gravity zone have their movement speed decreased, with this movement speed decreasing effect becoming stronger whenever a set amount of time passes. Also, these opposing Pokemon's moves will have no movement effect. So that's basically any moves that will give the Pokemon movement effect. Basically, like for example, Crustl's X Scissor or Lucario's Power Punch. I believe that's also a dash as well. And then the opposing Pokemon enters the gravity zone by using a move. The Pokemon stops moving and is left unable to act for a short time. So with the upgrade now, I think this thing is definitely going to be really a lot better. Well, I want to say better. I'm not sure how better we're talking about, but it's definitely going to be more consistent now. So we'll see how that goes. But I think it's definitely going to be really. I think it might pick up some use for sure. Now, Moonlight also got a buff, so now the healing has been increased by 15%. Now, I think that's actually kind of crazy when you think about it, because Clefable was healing a decent chunk. I think it was healing a bit more than Blissey as it was, but now I think with this buff, I think Clefable's Moonlight is actually going to be really good for heals. So I think the healing on Clefable's Moonlight, I feel like it's going to be really, really good now. Will it be enough to possibly make Clefable the best supporter in the game? Probably, maybe. I'm not too sure though, because Eldegoss is a thing, and Eldegoss is still a really dominant supporter. Of course, I know because I play it. It's really good. So we'll just have to see it. But with that buff, I think Clefable might have what it takes to be able to move itself into the metagame potentially. But we'll see because having something like gravity to be able to stop dashes and having the stun increased a bit more, it's actually going to be pretty crazy, actually. So we're going to have to see how that goes. And then Moonlight having a 15% healing increase, I think that's pretty crazy. We'll just have to wait to see how that goes. So Maybe Clefable might potentially surpass Blissey. I don't know. I could be wrong, but we haven't seen Blissey do. I mean, there are still some really good Blissies that still do work. Of course, shout out to, of course, Cookie Dough. I know she's an amazing Blissey. Definitely check her out if you guys have yet to. Cookie Dough is an amazing Blissey, so definitely check her out. Of course, I just think Clefable is going to be rising potentially with these buffs. Well, I could be wrong. Anyways, let's go ahead and pull up the second batch notes here. So we have some more nerfs and buffs to go over. So we're going to start with Sableye because I know a lot of people are really happy about Sableye getting nerfed, and I see why. So Sableye got a nerf to Shadow Sneak. So now it takes 1.5 seconds to enter stealth upon cast. And then if you get incapacitated before entering stealth, you won't be able to enter stealth. So basically, I believe if this means that I think that's when you faint, right? If you faint or if you get hit by a status, I think if you get hit by a hindrance, I believe that's when you're prevented from entering stealth mode. I think that's how it works. Correct me if I'm wrong. It says incapacitated, so that's why the wording right there is what kind of confused me there. So I believe that is when it faints. I think once you faint, you don't get to enter stealth. I think that's how it works. I could be wrong. Um, but yeah, that's a nice nerf because I think Sableye was. I think a lot of people were really annoyed at Sableye, including myself. I think this Pokemon was just really, really annoying overall. So having it with some nerfs here really is nice. So let's get that thing up out of here, please. Sableye was causing too much terror in the Pokemon Unite community, in the metagame, in the games in general. So get that thing up out of here, please. I'm tired of seeing that ugly mug coming into my games. Like, look at this mug. You see Sableye's mug? I'm tired of looking at that ugly face. It's looking at me like it's ready, that it's so happy that it's trickery, is be tricking its foes, taking all the energy, taking the buffs, the jungler buffs. I'm tired of this thing. I'm just kidding. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are really annoyed at Sableye, and I don't blame you. It really is a pain in the butt. And take that smile off your face, Sableye. Your time in the spotlight is over. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Now, Mr. Mime getting some nerfs. Actually, this one kind of caught me by surprise because I didn't really think Mr. Mime really needed to get any more nerfs because I think Mime was already fine as it is. My thought process was when Mime was going to get nerfed, I felt like it was going to get nerfed on the stuns that it has with Barrier and such, that's what I was kind of thinking, but I didn't think they were actually going to do this. So they nerfed Mr. Mime's Confusion. They reduced the damage of Confusion by 15%, which that's kind of weird because I don't think Mime really needed these nerfs, honestly. And then Power Swap got a movement speed buff and healing decrease. So basically all the movement speed effect and then the healing was decreased with this move. So now, well, Power Swap I believe does offer stun as well too, I believe. But they still did not touch Barrier actually. So I think Barrier is still a thing. So there's that. But I just don't understand why did they nerf Mr. Mime. I really don't think Mime didn't really need to get nerfed. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe there's some people. I mean, there are some people that I know of that really play Mime really well. I know Battle Force plays a really great Mime. I know Wurmple plays Mime. I know a few people that play Mime actually, but the main two that I know for sure that play it is Wurmple. Shout out to Wurmple, of course, and of course Battle Force. So, oh yeah, and Skillies as well too. I know Skillies plays a really good Mime. So they will probably tell you guys why Mime got nerfed, but I honestly don't think Mime really needed a nerf. It was fine as it is. So, and then his Unite move was also reduced. Damage was reduced by 10%. So that was kind of weird. But again, I don't agree with these nerfs on Mime. I don't think it really needed a nerf. So basically, they just want Mr. Mime to pretty much be in the be rest in peace in the dirt, basically, for whatever reason. But it is what it is. Anyways, Dragapult got a buff here to his Shadow Ball, so now its damage has been increased by 12%. So that's cool. Some love to the Shadow Ball build. If you guys hear that beeping in the background, I apologize. I'm not sure why that's beeping. So if you guys do hear that beeping, I do apologize in advance. But yeah, they buffed Shadow Ball. I don't think Shadow Ball was really doing enough to really make sure the Pokemon really do well. But now with the Shadow Ball getting a damage buff to it, I think that might make people try more of the Phantom Force route. Personally for me, I've always been a fan of Phantom Force, so Shadow Ball getting a buff, I think honestly is really nice. So let's see how that works. And now the big one for me, another one that I didn't see coming that actually, well, not really. This is something that I feel like Hoopa really needed. So Hoopa here got some buffs here. Hoopa got some love here, and I think this was definitely needed as well. Hoopa got a buff to his Unite, so now it goes from 134 seconds to 112 seconds. Now this is big. This is my opinion a really nice buff because it would take so long for Hoopa to get his buff that you have to be really careful with how you utilize Hoopa's Unite, honestly. Like you would get Hoopa's Unite and then it's like, it takes so long for it to build up again. You would have to hard farm just to be able to get just to be able to get access to your Northern Unite, which is why you would probably want to preserve. But now with the cooldown reduced to 112 seconds from 134, that's a 22-second difference, guys. So that means Hoopa's going to be able to have access to his Unite a lot more consistently now. So basically, even if you run Energy Amp as well, now I know what you guys are thinking. Really, Latios, why Energy Amp on Hoopa? Imagine with Hoopa with Energy Amp, you'll be able to have a lot more access to its Unite now. So that means that you could be able to help your team, get to where you need to go in terms of objectives. Now, of course, this will only be good if your teammates actually do work with you. Like if you use your Unite correctly and get your team to where they need to go to turn the tide of the battle, then great. That's something that's really well necessary. So, but if the team's not working well together, then basically this doesn't do anything because what's the point of having Hoopa on the team if your teammates are not doing what they're supposed to do, right? And I've seen that happen many times. Many times. Let's be real here. So yeah, but I think Hoopa getting a buff to Unite, I think really is nice because this is some love that I think Hoopa really needed. So I think that's really nice. So Hoopa may be making a comeback in my opinion, but we'll see. We'll see. I could be wrong. Hyperspace Hole also got a cooldown reduction from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. Now, a lot of people will probably sit here and say, this is not enough to make Hoopa good. I think this is a nice buff. The reason why is because while yes, it does hurt the fact that Hoopa did lose. Well, not really Hoopa. It's the fact that when you're at base, the healing at your base was nerfed ever since this new field came in, which balanced out Hoopa because back then with the old stage, Hoopa was so good because you were able to teleport your team back to base so fast and then be able to just respawn back with full HP and then just get the edge on your opponent on the opposing team. But nowadays it's like, ever since that was nerfed, people thought Hoopa was not really that great anymore. And I still think Hoopa is not bad. And not to mention, Hyperspace Hole is also pretty good if you need to get to a particular lane. Like let's say for example, okay, you finish with the bottom Reggie. Okay, right, bet. So let's say if you get bottom Reggie and you really want to make sure you get there in time before the opponents take Regieleki for whatever reason. I'm just saying that as an example. So let's say if you want to make sure that you get there in time for the Regieleki, Hoopa could just set up a hyperspace hole and then you can get yourselves up there to top lane to stop the opposing team from getting a Lecky right away. So it's like you don't have to waste time going top where Hoopa could just set up a bait. Hoopa could literally just set up a hyperspace hole on your team's goal, and then you're able to instantly teleport your team from bottom path to top path instantly. So that's why I still think Hoopa with his hyperspace hole is good. But again, it's heavily team reliant, of course. So this is a Pokemon that's really good on well organized teams. So yeah, that's just something to take note of when it comes to this Pokemon. And then Phantom Force also got a buff in which now it doesn't need a target to cast. So it is no longer a target move, so you can just use it on the ground. So basically, you could now just use this move. You don't have to target anybody in order to utilize this move. So I'm not sure how that works. In fact, I guess we could read Hoopa. We can take a look at Hoopa real quick, and then we can, you know what, guys? Let's go ahead and take a look at Hoopa real quick, and we'll take a look. Let's go ahead and pull up, let's go ahead and actually pull up Hoopa's Phantom Force, and let's read it together so we can kind of understand where this move is coming. So here we go, Phantom Force. So Hoopa creates a ring. Wow, excuse me. Hoopa creates a ring under itself. It warps to a designated Pokemon's location, dealing damage to nearby opposing Pokemon at that location and shoving them. Hoopa then shoots 2 sinister flames that deal damage to opposing Pokemon that hit and decrease their movement speed for a short time. And then this move can be used a second time within a set amount of time. If used a second time, Hoopa can return to the initial location where it warped from. When using this move, if there is a nearby ally Pokemon that is linked by a trick, that ally can also warp to the initial ring's location. The ally Pokemon that warps in this way will recover some HP. And then upgrade makes the user invincible for a short time when this move is used. So basically, this move will require you to target a teammate Pokemon, I believe. Or no, it doesn't target Pokemon. I think this before you had to target an enemy in order to utilize this move, and then the second time you will use it, and then you could use it to return to teleport back to the first location when you casted this move. So I believe that's how it works. So now with the new buff, with the buff to it, now you don't actually have to target it, but when you could just place it anywhere on the field, and I believe that's how it works. I could be wrong, but I could be wrong. If I got that information wrong, I do apologize, but I believe that's how it works. So that's pretty cool. I think that's a nice upgrade to Phantom Force. I think so. Hyperspace Hole being getting that buff, I think is really nice because now it's gonna actually be able to do more for its team. Honestly, I think that's really nice. Wait a second, I just realized something. If I go here, Hyperspace Hole is already at the 10-second. It already has the cooldown, so that means all the stuff is already in place right now. I just realized that. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to work on. I'm gonna probably have to work on a build for Hoopa after I finish recording this video. I didn't even know. I didn't even know it was even up there right now. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the buffs and nerfs, guys. Let me know what you guys think. What are you most excited for when it comes to all these buffs, and all that good stuff. So let me know what you guys think. I think personally for me, my favorite updates out of these, probably obviously for the nerfs, obviously Sableye and Scyther, Sableye, Scyther, and Urshifu. Those nerfs were definitely well needed. I think I'm also really excited about Dragapult getting a buff to a Shadow Ball, so we'll have to see how that goes. But I think I'm more excited about Hoopa getting some nice buffs to it, as well as Clefable getting some buffs to its Gravity and to its Moonlight. So, but yeah, guys, I think those are gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna be trying those out on my own when I play some games with with the peeps, of course. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. And with that, I'm gonna get up out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.